report. It's long overdue.
Mr Chair.
Kevin Haig.
Well, thank you, Mr Chair. I'd like to start by endorsing, I think, everything that Annette King has said in those two contributions, and in particular also the quotations that she made from Ian Powell's address, because that focus on goals and targets and their inappropriate use by this government, I think, is entirely to the point. Because while goals and targets are very important, they're a very useful tool, the Minister must be incredibly careful about choosing the right ones, because the inevitable result of focusing on some particular things is that the system will apply less focus to everything else. And this government has chosen the wrong ones. In this contribution, I've just got the time to talk about a couple of things that are relevant to this estimates debate. First of those is elective surgery, which is the government's star performer, you would think, because literally any question about health that is asked in this House is responded to by the Minister saying, oh look, elective surgery has increased. And it's true. The number of operations that is being provided by DHBs has increased. And actually that does reflect that there is greater investment in that particular area of sector performance. But, Mr Chair, elective surgery is just 5% roughly of what the whole sector does. And so that 5% has more resource at the literal cost of every other part of the sector. But, Mr Chair, there's more. Not content with just shifting resource from other health services into elective surgery, there is also some game playing going on. There is a measure of effectively complexity of surgery that's used called case weighting. And one of the issues that I asked the Minister about when he appeared at the Select Committee was about declining case weights. Because the fact is that case weights, the average complexity of the surgery being performed in elective surgery, have been declining under this government. In 2007-8, the average case weight was 1.299, the following year 1.29, following year 1.27, 1.252, and then last year 1.247. Now that's not a big decline, but it is a steady decline of about 1% per year. And over 150,000 operations, that amounts to a very substantial reduction in the complexity of surgery that's being performed. And it explains why, in an environment of increasing elective surgery, the person who has serious and complex needs may still be struggling to actually get the help that they need. So even the jewel in the government's health crown is actually a pretty lacklustre one. In contrast, Mr Chair, one of the other areas that I have been asking about is diabetes. We have the PricewaterhouseCoopers estimate that the cost of health services alone for diabetes will in just 8 years' time be $1.7 billion per annum. We also know that the cost of non-health services, the other costs to our economy, to our families, to the individuals coming from diabetes, are more than that again. Now, to any independent observer, let alone any person with diabetes, considering those statistics, this is an urgent and catastrophic problem that requires desperate action. And yet when I ask the Minister, what is the government doing to prevent diabetes? His answer is, let's see, fruit in schools, nutrition and physical education public health campaigns, Kiwi Sport, health promoting schools, green prescriptions and newborn and toddler nutrition programs. And all of those are, are certainly programs with some merit. We'd be doing those too. But the fact is that there is too little investment by a factor of probably 100. And what's more, Mr Chair, the government is entirely allergic to those responses that we know are most likely to have an effect, and those are the regulatory responses that control the entire environment that drives the diabetes epidemic in the first place. This is a government that is committed to doing nothing because it believes that that is the best way it can control its political risk. Not good enough.
Mr. Chair.
Dr. Paul Hutchison.
Mr. Chair, estimates 2013 showed a record budget